Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is your first time here to be with me. I am here with a tutorial on this look right here. Basically, I have been doing some workshops lately, and the first one I did was about highlighting, contouring. The second one that I did was on eyes. So what I decided to do was put both of the looks that I did on the workshops together to make a full face makeup tutorial. So this is going to be full on face, full eyes. It's going to start with a more natural eyeshadow look, and I'm going to show you how to build it to a more dramatic look. Keep in mind that you can tweak this look. You don't have to necessarily do all of the things that I'm doing, but I just wanted to show you guys that it is possible to wear a more natural look to work, and then when you get off, if you're going out or whatever, going on a date, doing your thing, that you can just add a couple of extra products and you have a whole new look. The face part is the highlighting, contouring is a little extreme, so don't think that you have to do that on an everyday basis. I just wanted to go over everything that I spoke on at my workshops so that my clients could come back, watch this video and see, you know, have a little refresher, and then also for you guys as well so that you could see a new tutorial from me. Since I haven't gotten to do like an actual tutorial in a while, I was doing the Halloween videos.
Okay, and I'm just going to warn y'all, this video is extremely long, like so long, extremely detailed, but hopefully you will learn a lot. I will let you know below, like timing as far as when the face starts and the eyes pick back up, etc., etc. Hope you guys enjoy this, and let go.
So normally whenever I do my makeup, like on a daily basis, when I go places or whatever, I always start with my eyes first and then do my face, but I've got some face demons that are wanting to hang out with us today, and it would just make me feel a little more secure on camera if I go ahead and put a little bit of foundation on. So I'm not going to do the whole thing, just put a little bit on to give me some coverage. That will make me feel a little bit better. Good makeup starts with good skin, of course. So I am going to go ahead and moisturize, and I am using the Lush Cosmetic Lad Facial Moisturizer. This is something that I just started using, and I really like it. It's not too heavy. Gives me like just enough moisture without feeling oily, if you know what I mean. So I'm just gonna rub this in all over my skin. I tend to like to prime with several products. That's just me. If you only use one thing, you do you. But I just like to use multiple products. Now I'm going to spray this Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water all over my face. Like so. I really like the way that feels, and it gives me sort of like a tacky feeling, so like it makes the makeup stick, you know. And then I'm going to go in with one more thing. This is the Faced Hangover RX Primer. Just like to prep my skin, y'all. Always make sure that your hands are clean before you apply anything directly to your face. Obvi, we don't get no bacteria on there. Okay, so like I said, I'm just going to do a light coat, and I'm going in with the Urban Decay Naked Skin Foundation. This is not my favorite foundation. I do love the concealer. Like the Naked Skin Concealer is my jam, but I'm not obsessed with this foundation. I had been using the Makeup Forever HD, but that color is too dark for me now. I mean, yeah, too dark for me now because sister lost her tan already. This little guy right here, I'll tell you what, fell away. So now that I've got some coverage going on, I'm going to go ahead and apply my eyebrow situation. I prefer a pencil, and I am going in with the Anastasia Brow Wiz. Normally I use the NYX Micro Brow Pencil, but I can't find that one right now, so I had to dig this out. So the first thing we have to do is brush through our brow hairs. So we're just going to take this spoolie, which is just like the mascara wand side of the brow pencil, and just brush through to make sure that our brow hairs go with the shape of the brow. We don't want them hanging down. We don't want them going up too high. We just want to comb right through them and get that nice shape. Now I'm going to take the brow pencil, and always keep in mind that you never want to hold the pencil straight as if you're like outlining them. You always want to sort of flick them up softly to the side, like you're shading them in. Also, you always want the darkest part of the brow to be from the arch down to the tail. So I like to go ahead and start at the arch and start building up that product, and then just bring it down into the tail. I then go into this area right here, and as you can see, I'm missing some hair. So I want to connect those two spots. And if you feel like you go like a little bit too high, like I went a little bit too high right there, it's okay because you can clean it up with your foundation later. But you're basically just wanting to get a nice general shape going on. And when it comes to the front of the brow, you always want to use the least amount of product in there. I personally don't like mine to be like super squared off. I do create a soft line at the bottom of the brow to kind of get that shape going right there. But when it comes to these inner parts right here, I just like to softly flick up the brow pencil so it just puts minimal product in that area. Then we're going to take the other spoolie side again and brush through, and that makes the product disperse evenly throughout the brow hairs and makes it look a lot more natural. Also, I need to get my brows done right now, so don't judge me. Always remember also that eyebrows are sisters, not twins. They're never gonna look exactly the same. Next, I'm gonna go in with the MAC Studio Finish Concealer, and this is an Ulta concealer brush, and I'm going to carve out my eyebrows. This is completely optional, but I've got some crazy hairs going on right now, and I just really like to do this, so that's what we're going to do. You just want to load up the product specifically on the edges so it gets really pointy, and we're going to take the brush and etch right along underneath the brow. Just take the product and go right up underneath the brow hairs. You want to get as close as possible without actually touching the hairs. But if you accidentally do, you can always go back in with that spoolie and clean it up. And as you can see, this just really defines the brow. And of course, we're going to blend this out, but it just really gives a crisp and clean look. I'm now going to go in with this ELF application brush and blend out the concealer. You want to make sure that this doesn't go into your crease, just slightly above it. If it does get into that fold, your eyeshadows will get on top of it and will actually crease throughout the day. Next, we're going to prime the lids with the NYX Proof It eyeshadow base. I'm just going to take the doe foot applicator and apply it right on the lid on either side. And you can either buff it in with your finger or with a brush. I'm going to go ahead and use my finger today. But you just want to get a light veil, so make sure you don't apply too much. So now we're going to go in with the Maybelline The Nudes eyeshadow palette. And I'm going to take this matte bone shade right here with this ELF eyeshadow application brush. And I'm just going to apply this all over the lid and into the crease. This is going to help with blending later so that the eyeshadows aren't blending just on top of the base and the concealer, that it's actually blending on top of a powdered eyeshadow. Next, I'm going to take this neutral matte shade with my MAC 286 brush, and I'm just going to swirl my brush into the product, and I'm going to use this as my transitional shade in the crease. I'm taking the brush and I'm going to sweep from inner to outer corner in windshield wiper motions. As you get more comfortable with this, you'll be able to go faster, but I would suggest starting out in slower motions like this, just to sweep that product across. You can build this as well. So start out lighter and then apply more until you get the desired pigment that you're looking for. So you want this to stay in the crease and kind of go above it just a little bit. This is going to help to transition our shades from our lid all the way up to our brow. Blending is key, so any help that we can get with that is greatly appreciated. I'm now going to go in with this soft, creamy, shimmery shade and my ELF application brush again. And I'm going to pop on my brow highlight. I'm going to start underneath the arch of the brow and bring it downwards and rock the rest of the product into the inner part of the brow as well. You don't have to bring this heavily all the way across. You just want to focus it up at the top where the light would hit that area. We're going to go in with this shade right here on the lid with the same ELF application eyeshadow brush. I'm just going to pack this on to the lid. Keep in mind that you can use any color from this palette on the lid that's a light to medium shade. Probably for the more daytime look, I wouldn't suggest doing the black or the dark brown on the lid, but anything else you are welcome to do. I'm now just taking my blending brush and buffing out the edge of that so that it is seamless. Next, I'm going to go in with this dark brown and this little domed ELF brush. And I'm going to pat this color into the outer edge of the eye. I don't want this to go above the crease. I kind of want to keep it right below. So I'm just packing the color and then blending it out. I really just want this to give a little bit of definition towards the end of the eye. The further you go in, the more dramatic it's going to be. So again, I'm just patting it and working it inwards with small circular motions. And then, of course, blending it out. We're now done with most of the shadows, so we're going to go in with this Sephora liquid liner. So you're going to want to go as close to the lash line as possible. You don't have to do this in one swift motion. You can actually do it in several motions, just so that's a little bit easier for you. And when you want to do a wing, you're going to want to take the brush from the lower part of the eye and move upwards with it towards the outer part of the brow. You're then going to want to take your brush and connect it to the end of that point and bring it backwards towards the inner part of the eye. You're then left with this negative space right here. You're going to want to fill that in. Now when it comes to winged liner, it is often hard to get it even on either side. It's okay, girl. It'll take practice. Even I have a hard time doing that, 10 years in the game. With that being said, mine are uneven currently. This side is a little bit thicker and shorter. This side is thinner and longer. So our solution for that is makeup remover wipes. Some call this cheating. I would call this being smart. You just want to take your makeup wipe and clean up the edge to match the other one. And they're still not going to match perfectly. Like, let's just get real. Okay, so the liner is still not perfect. It is what it is. I'm just going to move forward. It's okay. So the next step is going to be face. So normally I wouldn't have already prepped or anything like that. So I would go ahead and do my prepping. I am going to add a little bit more foundation though, because I do want some more coverage. I just wanted to put a small amount on earlier just to cover up a little bit. So again, I'm taking my Real Techniques sculpting brush and just applying my Urban Decay Naked Foundation. Now for my favorite part of all time, concealer. I am using the Naked Skin Concealer, and I actually have to mix two different shades because one is from when I was a lot lighter and one was from when I was a lot darker. So I'm just going to apply some underneath my eye, on the chin, up on my forehead, and down my nose. Now I could just use this one if I wanted to, but it's just a tiny bit lighter than what I would like. So I'm just going to stripe a tiny bit of this darker shade as well. Now, by doing your concealer like this, it is going to help whenever we do the powder later as far as highlighting goes. So now to blend everything out, I am going to take another Real Techniques brush, and this one is called the setting brush. Love this thing. You can use it for so many things. So I'm just going to sort of pat underneath the eye and then start blending it out. Whenever I get closer to the pore area, I like to pat it in because then it sort of makes the pores disappear a little bit more. You can also go right up on the edge of that liner, and it makes it look a lot more crisp. My skin is so dry right now, it's not even cute. Next, I'm going to set my foundation with the Laura Mercier Mineral Pressed Powder, and I'm just using a 109 brush from MAC. The color is a little bit deeper, so it does give me some color. Like I said before, I feel like that foundation is a little bit light, so this helps me out to warm me up a little bit. Now I'm pretty much applying this just in the outer perimeter of the face. I'm not going really into any of the areas where I highlighted, because we're going to go back in a moment and bake those areas, and we don't want any darkness there. Now we're going to get some chiseling going on, and I'm going to take the NYX Highlight and Contour Palette, and I am going to use my ELF contouring brush for this. I believe it's called the bronzing brush, but I use this for contouring. It's got a nice little angle, but it's soft enough to really blend. So I'm going to take this shade right here, and I'm going to suck in my cheeks. Okay, this is what's going to help to really help find that line. So as a rule of thumb, I always like to say to take your brush almost directly from this little part of the ear down to the mouth. Now you don't want to bring your contour all the way down to the mouth, but that is a good rule of thumb as far as the angle goes. So I'm going to suck in my cheeks, and do you see how that sort of flattens that out a little bit? Right there is where I'm going to go. So I like to start back here and sort of work my way down. And then I like to turn my brush to the side to help blend. And then I like to go around the temple and up into the hairline as well. I also like to do these small circular motions to get a little bit more control. I hold the brush closer to the bristles, and that kind of allows me to just control where it goes a little bit more. And then I'm going to go into the hairline as well. Make sure that you get it right up into the hairline so there's not any sort of like white area right there. I'm going to go across the forehead. And keep in mind, if you feel like it's a little bit too heavy, we can go back and blend it all out. You can also take it up under the jawline to make it look a little more defined. And if you're like me and you suffer from a double chin, you can just go right under there and create a shadow. Next, we're going to take the brush and sort of pinch it and go down the sides of the nose just for a light contour. You can go as heavy as you want with this, but I'm not a fan of like super crazy contour. So I just kind of like to lightly brush it on the side of the nose and then underneath, and that kind of makes it look a little bit more lifted. So next we're going to do the most fun part, and that is baking. I am going to take this NYC Smooth Skin Loose Powder and my Real Techniques complexion sponge. You can use a beauty blender for this as well, but this is just a more inexpensive alternative, and to be honest, I kind of like it more. So you're just going to generously dip in your powder and get a lot on your sponge. And you're going to go up under the eye in a patting motion. This is going to help set that concealer, but more than that, it's going to help with highlighting as well. You can use any transparent powder for this, but you definitely you want to load it on. Load it up, load it up. Then you're going to go up under your contour, and that's going to help to make it a lot more dramatic. And we're going to leave this here as long as possible. What I'll do is I'll kind of go back and I'll finish up the eyes while this sits. I also like to bring it up against the nose contour because that helps to make it crisper as well. And then also down the center lightly. Like it literally looks like you've been baking cookies, like you've got flour all over your face. Hence the term. This is like my favorite part. I love it. So yeah, you're basically just going to do this anywhere that you put your concealer. I'm going to let this sit for a moment. I know I look crazy, but you know what? It is what it is. I'm going to be using the Real Techniques eyeshadow brush again. And I'm just going to go right up under my lash line just to get a little bit of definition. Remember, this is, you know, more of your natural-ish daytime type look. I mean, it's like a full glam day look, but keep in mind too, I'm showing you like the most of everything. So you can do it, you know, less dramatic than this if you want. It's completely up to you. You do you, boo. You do you. So basically, I'm just going up under the lash line with this just to give a little bit of definition. Now I'm going to go in with mascara, and this is the MAC Upward Lash. I love this because it has like a tiny little silicone brush, so you can get every single lash, especially the bottom lashes. It's the bomb. And I have a hair in my eye. I'm just going to wiggle the bottom of the lashes and then roll from the top as well. That's going to allow the lashes to be fully saturated. Okay, now that we have our mascara on, it is now time to brush away this ridiculousness. And I'm going to use the Real Techniques setting brush again. And we're simply just going to brush it away. Oh yeah. How soft this looks. But then like how it made the contour look very angular. So now I'm going to go in with some blush. This is Dainty Mineralize blush from MAC in a 129 blush brush. And I'm just going to put this on the apples of the cheeks and rock it back into the contour. I'm gonna go back in with this setting brush and just kind of buff around the edges of the blush, just to make it a little bit softer. Then I'm gonna go in with what I call an accessory highlight. This is Becca's Shimmering Skin Perfector in Moonstone. And I'm just gonna take my finger and put it on the tip of my nose, and then the bridge of the nose as well. A little bit on the cupid's bow. And then also on the high planes of the cheeks. So there you have it, folks. This is going to be your sort of natural glam look, something that you can wear on a daily basis if you would like. The face is going to be more of a not so everyday thing, but as far as the eyes go, it's a nice sort of neutral palette that you can definitely wear for every day. Now, I want to show you guys how you can amp this up. If you're wearing this look at work or during the day running errands, whatever it is that you're doing, I'm going to show you how you can just add a couple of little extra things to amp up your look for more of a nighttime thing. So the first thing that you're going to do is still go back into the Nudes palette, and this time we're going to go into the black shadow with this dome brush from ELF. We're just going to tap this into the outer edge just like we did with the brown. And then we're going to blend it out. Next, we're going to take a black eyeliner pencil and we're going to rim this inside of the waterline. And then we're going to smudge it out with the ELF eyeshadow application brush. And then, of course, we're going to pop on some false lashes. You could leave it like this, but I'm just going to show you how to go all out. The lashes that I'm applying, they're from House of Lashes. They're called Iconics, and they're like a regular long lash, but I cut them in half because they were just a little intense for me. And I've seriously worn these about, not exaggerating, like 8 times maybe, something like that. Look at that. It's pretty crazy. So you see how adding some liner, a little bit of darker shadow, and some lashes turns it into a completely more dramatic nighttime look. Alright guys, so now we're completely done. You could change the lip up if you wanted to, but to be honest, I really like this more neutral, natural lip color that I have going on here. So I just wanted to show you that you can do more of like a daytime look, give or take a few steps. If you didn't want to do the liquid liner, you wouldn't have to do the liquid liner at first. If you wanted to change that up a little bit, you totally could. But I just wanted to show you guys that you could definitely go from more of a daytime, more neutral look to something more dramatic and more nighttime look in just like a couple of steps. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!